Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still celebrating the 10th of Ramadan victory, and we are going to shed more light on Sinai and the development projects that are taking place in Sinai. And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Mr. Abdel, journalist and political analyst. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you. Hello to you and the dear viewers.
Thank you so much. Mr. Rahman, what would you describe, how would you describe your feelings today with the 10th of Ramadan victory?
Always renewed feeling that goes year after year. And I always feel the same, as if it was the first time we have lived the memory of the victory of the 6th October victory in the war against the Jewish resistance and the heroic victories we have accomplished. Our army, the best army on earth and the best soldiers on earth and in history. The feelings are fresh always, and we never cease to stop that feeling, especially when we are witnessing new confrontations, new wars. We have as the war against terrorism to clear our beloved Sinai from the roots of terrorism, supported and masterminded by the enemy intelligence from abroad, as well as the Mossad. As we have conquered those enemies again at that war against terrorism, as we are the very first army that conquered terrorism and terroristic organizations. With this difference, we have beaten that difference between strategics of the organized armies against organizations that are using the tactics of hit and run, the same conflicts that the American army itself couldn't accomplish any victory against the terroristic groups in Afghanistan and other places. That shows the strength with such battles that only the major we can evaluate the strength of an army. We have beaten what the American army couldn't beat. So that's why I always say that we have the best army on earth.
Yes. Yes. How do you evaluate, Mr. Abdurrahman, how do you evaluate the Egyptian army and, of course, in cooperation with the Interior Ministry that was able to put an end to terrorism in Sinai?
With our victory, that great victory against terroristic organizations and groups in Sinai, we have started another war, which is war of development, battle of development.
Yes, and of course, concerning the development in Sinai, President Abdel al-Sisi said defending Sinai is not only by weapons, but by developing and the projects that are taking place there.
Well, of course, Mr. President Abdel al-Sisi that has led that victory, and the history will never forget that victory for Mr. President Abdel al-Sisi. He represents the concept of our army and our nation as one army behind the leader, that we have one arm to fight with and another arm to build with. This is the concept we are using right now, and we have already accomplished a lot of developments in development projects in Sinai. One huge strategy, one too many projects that are being and already accomplished and being accomplished in Sinai as we are speaking right now. One great, huge mega project of development and strategy that should have been started right afterwards the peace treaty late 70s, but we didn't. We couldn't because we didn't have the regime that had the will and the intention and the true intention to start that project. But we now do have the leader and the will and the strength to start, and we have already started what we have started. We should have started decades before. So in 10 years, we have accomplished that couldn't be accomplished in decades, in 3 decades or more. I can't start by saying I can't forget the beginning, the true beginning of development in Sinai. It started with the new extension for the Suez Canal that have renewed and refreshed the historical project in our land, as well as we regained control on it in the era of the past, the late leader Gamal Abdel Nasser, and we are continuing to expand the horizons of that project with the new extension. Another thing very important, that's very significant, which is building the tunnels, the 8 tunnels that connecting Sinai with Middle Egypt. That those tunnels have conquered the one default in the project that was preventing our armies to move easily from central Egypt to eastern Egypt, to Sinai, to confront and to face any threat from the eastern front. That strategic project all by itself is a one great, huge, significant project. We can never forget the project of the new port in Arish, that port that confronted and made Israel live in a nightmare, because we have ended their supremacy in the Mediterranean with this port that is connecting Taba and connecting the great projects in Sinai, not just with the Mediterranean and Europe, but also with Gulf countries and the eastern countries, connecting to the Silk Road. That strategy shows and represents there is a great mind behind it.
Yes. So, Mr. Abdurrahman, also, what are the different fields that are witnessing developmental projects in Sinai Peninsula? Like, for example, the field of agriculture, industry, and tourism, and other fields.
Well, of course, agricultural projects and industrial projects, such projects that were prevented deliberately in the past regimes, and now we are witnessing true renaissance in Sinai. Such projects are in the deep heart of our national security, because as Dr. Gamal Hamdan has said, that to prevent and to face and to protect our national security in Sinai, we should turn it into cities and make those cities are inhabited by people and protected by our own army. That's exactly what we are doing right now. We are protecting Sinai not just by the military ways, but the strategic ways, by building cities there, but expanding cities, by cultivating projects, whether agricultural or industrial, all over Sinai. And that's how the only way to defend our own Sinai against the threats that coming from the very first front that is exposed to threats all over our history.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Mr. Amr Abdurrahman, journalist and political analyst. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. And with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.